my friend, the Libra. Da-da-da. Okay. Drama. Okay. Wow. Libra. Hey y'all, it's Aviva Tamar, and I'm back with a tarot card reading for my Libra friends. This reading is going to be to help you kind of navigate your difficult situations, overcome difficult scenarios that you might encounter in June. It's also to help you kind of analyze your strengths and weaknesses in that month. And also, I'm going to have a section specifically to analyze relationships in the month of June. So that is a thing. Also, please be aware that I am just an interpreter. I am just a translator of symbolism. I'm not all-knowing. So please consider your own intuition, your own gut instincts when you're listening to this. Consider reality also. So don't put too much merit into this. Take these readings with a grain of salt and use your own mind, your own intuition to apply the lessons that you need. And that's it. That's everything. So let's get into your reading. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do for you, Libra, is I'm going to use my cryptids deck to get a sense of your overall general energy for the month of June. Okay, that's it's going to be a very vague, because this is just major arcana cards. It's just major arcana cards. So it's just a vague overall energy. And you got the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is a card of being like stuck in a place, right? It's being trapped, unable to move. This cryptid is a cryptid that looks as though it is a human, but upon closer inspection, you find that it is not a dead human in the water. It is actually something that is meant to bring you down under the waves. I think that in the month of June, you are definitely going to be feeling like you're being pulled under. You're going to be feeling like you're on your own, like you're fighting to escape from something. There's a sense of feeling trapped with the Hanged Man. So be aware that that energy may be affecting you in the month of June. You may have these feelings of being trapped, which can lead to a lot of like mental anguish and emotional turmoil. So please be aware that under the surface, the things affecting your behavior, the major thing affecting your behavior in June is going to be this feeling of entrapment, this feeling like you're stuck, feeling like you can't get anywhere, and not through not by any like act of your own, though. Like the thing about the Hanged Man is that the Hanged Man didn't necessarily put themselves there, right? Sometimes the Hanged Man did put themselves there through their own action leading to a consequence, but it can also be just like something happened and now you're stuck, right? You can't go anywhere. The point of the pause in the Hanged Man, though, is for self-reflection. It's meant to help you. The Hanged Man is meant to give you time to reflect on yourself and your actions, your choices, how you may have come to this point, whether or not it is from your direct action or from just like a series of choices that you made that happened to lead to this point. Okay, I'm being rather verbose right now, so I'm going to continue on to the next part of you. All right, Libra, now is the time for your general reading. This is going to give you your strengths and weaknesses for the month of June. We are going to factor in the Hanged Man energy here. I'm going to get 9 cards, and the ratio of suits is going to give me what your strong areas are, what your weak areas are, what might need improvement, and how to do that, okay? So let's get into that. I just want you to think about anything that's going on with you. We got 4 cards so far, and I already have 3 wands. So you, Libra, are probably a very emotional person. not that you don't have like control of your emotions. It's just that you refer to your emotions first when interacting with the world. You go, how do I feel right now? And that's how you judge situations and people, probably. You just assess your emotional reactions. Okay. Drama. By the way, I'm using the Luminous Spirit Tarot deck. It's my favorite little hollow deck, which I can never get to show on camera. Another Wands card. And the Sun, though. And the World. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 more cards, and we'll get into your reading. Just one more card, please. One more card. Give us a clear picture. Thank you. Okay. So let's see what you have got, my friend, the Libra. Okay. So you have 4 wands, 2 swords, 1 cup, no pentacles. We're going to start with wands, and we'll just talk about your strengths to get started. Words today. Okay. Every day. All right. So the first card is the 6 of Wands, and this is a card of victory. It's a card of triumph. It's a card of triumph. It's a card of victory. It's a card of success. It's also a card of peace and of collaboration, because with the 6 of Wands, you often find that you have a large group of people supporting you in your ideas and willing to fight with you and alongside of you. So with the 6 of Wands, if there is something that you are trying to do, you're going to get it done, and there will be people supporting you. There's going to be peace in the process, or at least afterward. The Page of Wands is another card you got. Okay. Page of Wands is young, relatively inexperienced, as all pages are. The Page of Wands, however, is very determined, uses their emotions to drive them. They're very passionate. The Page of Wands is the kind of person who, when there is something that sparks their passion, ignites that like anger or joy in them, that's something that they will follow and pursue with their whole heart. Okay. So Libra, you are a very passionate person who is obviously willing to fight for the things that you feel passionately about. That is amazing. You also have the 2 of Wands. Okay. This could be indecision, but it could be the fact that you're able to look into the future, because you have this like scrying ball here, this crystal ball. Okay. So with the 2 of Wands, it's taking the time to look into the future, assess potential scenarios, and make choices based off of that. This could also be looking into the past to assess past scenarios and choices, which would make sense with the Hanged Man energy here. Okay. So you're really good at that emotional self-reflection. You're good at like taking the time to reflect on scenarios where your emotions may or may not have gotten out of hand. So yeah, this 2 of Wands energy here is definitely trying to show you that you have this ability to both reflect on the past and to see into the future a little bit, and to analyze those situations using your emotions first. So the first thing you probably recall about scenarios is how you were feeling at the time, and then the best way for you to analyze future scenarios and the results of those future choices would be, how do you think emotionally you would be reacting to that situation? Okay, just assess your emotions when you think about the potential outcome of a choice, and that can help you assess what is the correct choice. Okay, the next thing you have is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is this dude who is, like I said before, just determined, right? The thing about him for you, my Libra friend, is that he came out reversed. So you have this Page of Wands energy, and you have the potential to grow into this more mature and more focused and more determined Knight of Wands. And as you can see, like there's a difference between their eyes. If you look, I don't know if you can see this, but if you look at their eyes, the Page of Wands is very focused and determined, and she looks almost angry, whereas the Knight of Wands is less angry and more focused, because the Knight of Wands has matured past the place where he's letting his emotions determine where he's going and what he's doing. He's more taking stock of his emotions before acting when you develop into the Knight of Wands. So that may be something that you need to work on in the month of June, is taking stock of emotions before you act, even when your emotions feel like they are driving you to action, because you need to figure out like the consequences of those actions and how you're going to feel after you take this action that's you think is going to make you feel better. Okay. So that's something to think about going into June. Just be aware that your emotions, there's growth that needs to happen there. Even though you are very developed in that area, there's always work to be done. So get the support of other people. Pay attention to your past choices and how they have affected you emotionally, and you'll get a better idea of how to make better choices going forward so that your emotions can remain balanced. But I do think that this part of your growth is going to be relatively easy for you because you have so many wands. Let's move on to your next suit, which is swords. So swords, for you, my friend, you have the Queen of Swords, who can be very quick-witted, can be very volatile. She's not very emotional, okay? That's the thing. The Queen of Swords doesn't usually rely on her emotions. She relies on rules, regulations, truth, and justice. She's intellectual, right? So she's like, if you broke the law, things are black and white, right? So you should go to jail. That's the Queen of Swords. So you have this emotional place where you start from, and then you go to what is fair now that I have been hurt, right? So that's cool and all. Like, it's really good if you're being a social justice warrior. This is a great energy for being a social justice warrior. Like, you get angry about stuff and you get passionate, and then you're like, well, that's wrong. That's not okay. And I'm passionate and angry about it. And I'm going to do something. Like, yes, that's cool. That's a great place to start. The problem is when the Queen of Swords doesn't really think about other people's emotions and doesn't think about how her actions and words can hurt people. The swords can be very hurtful. They can be used to protect, but in the process, they destroy what we are protecting ourselves from, right? And sometimes that is necessary, but we need to consider when the pen may be mightier, right? When diplomacy may be more effective, even when we are feeling passionate and angry, even when we have a complete right to be furious. Sometimes it is still more effective to be diplomatic no matter how angry we are, because sometimes you're just not going to get stuff done with the sword. A really balanced Queen of Swords knows the value of law and knows the value of rules and of those written out structures rather than relying strictly on law and punishment kind of thing. Okay, so be aware that you have that element in you that is so focused on and striving for justice that your emotions can drive you, and they can control that part of you that is striving for justice and fairness, and it can make you lash out verbally, and it could, because you're so emotional sometimes, or because you have so much passion, it could make you lash out physically as well, so do be aware of that. The other sword you have is the Two of Swords. Okay, the Two of Swords is a sword of like indecision. These two birds are fighting, right? They're at odds with one another. They're at odds with each other, and they're like fighting it out. This is like two thoughts in your head battling it out for dominance. So it's like you have these two things, these two options, either two ways of thinking, two ideas of what could be correct, or you have a decision, you have a choice, you're feeling kind of indecisive. Okay, don't want another incident here. So yeah, Two of Swords energy. There's going to be some indecision in June. It looks like it's mostly mental. There's like a mental indecision about either a belief system, a truth, what could be the right choice would be, I think that's going to be a big theme for you in June, is making the correct choices based off of what is fair and what is correct, and also what feeds you emotionally, so like having to take into account, one, your emotions, but also two, what is fair all around, not just for you. That's going to be a big theme for you in June, I think. And in order to make those proper choices going forward, again, you need to analyze those choices you've made in the past, which is why you have this Hanged Man energy. Let's move on to the cups. You have the King of Cups, and the King of Cups is a very, he's grounded in reality. He's got solid ground beneath his feet, but he has the ability to like daydream. He's very idealistic. The King of Cups is, it's very focused on their internal world, and through that internal world helps them to connect with others. So I really see for you in June, Libra, that you're going to be connecting with your intuition in a strong way, even though it may not be like your first function. It may not be the strongest part of the way you operate, but it looks like, because you have such a strong cups card here, I feel like you're going to be finding a lot of power in your intuition. If you take some time to develop your intuition during the month of June, I think you're going to be feeling a lot more grounded and powerful here. Your intuition can help you also when you're having some like an internal debate about morals. That intuition can help you with that. And a way to tap into that intuition is through your emotions and through physical sensations, which brings us to the pentacles, which are completely missing from your spread. So pentacles are your senses, your taste, touch, hearing, smell, all that, right? So the fact that you are missing them completely does not mean that you don't have a body. Obviously, there is a meat suit that you are occupying. Cool. But do you pay attention to that meat suit? What do you do to take care of the meat suit? Right? Like, you are not a body, but you have one. And just like a house, you must maintain it, right? You don't want it falling apart around you because you won't be able to stay there very much longer, right? So you need to take care of your body the same way you would take care of a home. Although with pentacles missing here, I can probably assume that you are not very good at those basic home maintenance tasks, like doing your dishes, doing your laundry, picking things up off the floor, taking your garbage out on a regular basis. Like those basic day-to-day things probably just escape your grasp, because you have so much emotional energy here, and you have swords as your second function, which means you spend a lot of time in your brain. There's not a lot of room here for paying attention to your physical body, your physical state, or your environment. But those things are necessary in order for you to maintain balance. And no one function exists in a bubble. They do rely on each other in order to function, all of them, properly, right? Like, your brain can only function properly when your emotions aren't all over the place, when you're not emotionally stressed out. Your emotions are more balanced when your thoughts are more focused. Just things like that. They interact with each other. So you do need to incorporate your senses into your daily life so that you can be more balanced here, okay? One thing you can do to help you with that, since you function mainly from your emotions, is we can assess your emotions on a regular basis, right? So on a regular basis, you take stock of how you are feeling. You already do this because you are an emotional person. But when you are taking stock of your emotions, at the same time, assess your physical sensations, right? Every emotion comes along with a physical sensation, a physiological reaction. Those physiological reactions are also connected with your intuition. So if you pay more attention to those physical reactions, you'll notice the more subtle ones, which connect you with your intuitive senses. Because when your intuition senses that something is wrong, it'll send physical sensations to your body, which are reminiscent of emotions you have felt in the past in similar scenarios. It is your instincts telling you, hey, something's off, based off of our previous experience or based off of like caveman instincts, right? So you need to pay attention to those physical sensations because they will help you tap into understanding your emotions, analyzing them more accurately, and also tapping into that intuition. So those physical sensations are really, really important. One exercise you can do beyond that assessing of the emotions and physical sensations thing is just going outside and paying attention to the physical sensations you experience when you are outside in nature. The breeze, the temperature, listening to the birds and the leaves, things like that. So just and also those basic menial tasks that you hate doing, do them. Just like spend 5 minutes a day, accomplish one thing on this the to-do list of the chores that you need to do that you are always avoiding or ignoring or forget about, which, it's completely normal for people who don't function from that place of their senses to disregard their physical environment. So don't feel guilty for living in a messy space. I know that decluttering your space helps to declutter your mind. It's not an easy process. Anytime you're integrating a function that is your least strong, your weakest function, it's going to be a difficult process, and it requires consistency. Right? You can't do it today and then not do it tomorrow and say, it's okay, I'll do it another day. That's not how it works. It needs to be every day, same time every day, same thing every day, so that you get into this habit. And it needs to be a minimum of 30 days. 100 days is ideal, but 30 days is a minimum. If you can just get yourself to stick to one chore that you do every day for 30 days, you're going to feel a lot more confident. You're going to feel like you're more aware of your environment. You may naturally start doing more around the house. So just take stock of those physical sensations. Try to integrate that weakest function during the month of June, okay? Because it's going to be necessary for you to strengthen this intuition and grow into this King of Cups energy and develop that Knight of Wands emotional control, okay? Now I'm going to give you your major arcana, and then we will move into oracle card readings, okay? Or no, I'm sorry. After the major arcana, we will move into your relationship reading. So major arcana is the Sun and the World. Both of these are cards of prosperity and abundance and wonderful things coming to you. The World is a card of balance. It's a card of endings and new beginnings. It is really good. Cycles are turning. Things are going to change for you. I really do feel like they are. You just got to be patient. Stay optimistic with this Sun card. Good things are coming. We just have to focus on growth. That's all we got to do. All right. And you are capable of getting all this work done. I truly believe in you. You have the passion and the drive. You can totally improve yourself in any way that you want to. Okay. So now let's move into your relationship reading. All right. So right now I have the Enchanted Love Tarot. Okay. I have the Enchanted Love Tarot out in front of me right now. I'm going to use the book to give you the clearest possible messages. But just so you know what I'm doing, I'm getting you and another person, how you're consciously and subconsciously showing up in this relationship, how you're projecting on one another, and how you are relating to each other consciously and subconsciously. Okay. This will give you some insight on, yes, one specific relationship, but it can also give you insight on relationships in general. But to help this along, it's best if you focus on one particular person. So please do that right now. Envision this person that you want to analyze your relationship with. Okay? Wow. Libra. Help us learn about a relationship. Help us learn about Libra's relationship. Okay. Help us learn about Libra's relationship. All right. Let us begin. So consciously, you, my friend, are showing up, so as the King of Shells, but in reverse. So the King of Shells is like a King of Cups, right? That we got in your general reading. It's that intuitive sense. So you're showing up as this intuitive person. The problem is you're showing up as the King of Cups or the King of Shells in his negative aspects. So you're showing up in this relationship as someone who is daydreamy, maybe idealistic, but more flighty, less grounded in reality. They may see you as flaky. They may see you as someone who has, or you may be showing up in this relationship as someone who has their head in the clouds and isn't very consistent. And is more concerned with their daydreams than with reality. So that's how you're showing up in this relationship. Not a good start. Let's see how the other person is showing up consciously in this relationship. The other person is showing up as the Princess of Gems, okay? But also in reverse, okay? So on the surface, you're both showing up as shadow aspects, which already I'm not optimistic. Like, I'm just going to be real with you guys. I love giving good relationship readings. I love making people happy, but I gotta be realistic. In June, you and this other person are showing up in this relationship in negative ways. You're showing up as like this non-committal, flaky, flighty person who's more concerned with their daydreams. And this other person is showing up as someone who... Let me read it from the book for you. Get it more accurate. So the Princess of Gems. So on the surface, this other person, the Princess of Gems reversed, enjoys all the benefits of her parents' wealth, but takes her good fortune for granted. She has no idea how to support herself or how those less fortunate live. Even when she tries to act worldly, those with real-life experience see she is naive, unsophisticated, and lacking in common sense and awareness of human nature. She's afraid of working or getting dirty, though she is willing to do dirty deeds to protect her lifestyle. She sees everyone and everything as a toy to play with, then discard at will. She is anxious because at her core she knows how dependent on others and fortunate circumstances she is. She seeks pleasure but has trouble letting go and surrendering to love. All right, so that's the other person. I'm going to find yours and I'm going to read that to you. So just brace yourself real quick. Brace yourself. Now, this is not you overall. We've already done your general reading. We know who you are as a person. This reading does not mean you are a bad person. This is just how you're showing up in this relationship, and there can be any number of reasons why you're showing up this way, okay? I'm not going to pretend that I know what's going on in your particular situation, and I am not going to judge you for acting any kind of way, okay? You do you, boo-boo, all right? But I'm going to read this to you so you can figure out what exactly you might be dealing with right now. Okay, so the King of Gems reversed is too young and self-centered to be a leader. He is creative and intuitive, but is full of himself and, all too often, intoxicating substances which cloud the way he full of himself and all too often intoxicating substances which could cloud the way he presents himself. People are put off and or confused by his unclear speech and imperious manner when he shares his visions. They don't know if it is his wealth, genetics, sexual proclivity, or the royal plastic surgeon's skill that have staved the ravages of age. His gaze is direct, but his mind is somewhere else. He seems stuck in the past. He is as sensitive and psychic as any in his family, but uses it to control people. He is a visionary whose psychic gifts burden him. He can read people and omens as skillfully as he uses his creative powers to realize his visions, though he is tired of being a counselor. Okay, so, all right, let me fix my hair. Sorry, I can't stand my hair in my face right now. So, Libra, on the surface already, this relationship doesn't seem very healthy. Like, you guys don't seem to be on the surface showing up as good people. On the surface, you're each showing up as rather selfish. Not cool. Let's see what's going on beneath the surface. So subconsciously, okay, that's interesting. Subconsciously, you are the King of Gems, which is funny because gems are pentacles, and pentacles was the thing that was lacking in your general reading. So subconsciously in the relationship, you have this King of Gems energy. So let's get it from the book for you. The King of Gems upright leans on his staff, symbolizing it has been a long, hard climb to achieve his wealth, success, and power. He realizes he didn't do it without help. He has great respect and appreciation for those who work for him and prefers their company to that of the nobles crowding his court, making requests of him. He handles them and his many businesses well because he is mature and pragmatic. He is a realist with an earthy sense of humor and has experienced life from all sides. He loves his queen with all his heart and soul and puts his relationship first, ahead of everyone and everything, even his children. Be natural, realistic, and committed. Be sensible, pragmatic, serious-minded. Okay, so my friend, my Libra friend, so beneath the surface, you have a lot of maturity and you have this groundedness about you from life experience. Both of your cards are kings and they are more mature. You don't have to be male. It's just you seem to be the more masculine one in this relationship. Male or female or non-gender, whatever. It doesn't matter. You are the more assertive one in this relationship. You are the one who takes action and initiative more often than the other person. The other person is going to be more passive in the relationship because they have more feminine energy, okay? I need to find a new word for feminine and masculine because I'm really starting to hate these terms. Okay, so let's get into the other person's subconscious, okay? So underneath the surface, subconsciously in this relationship, you are far more mature. You have a lot of experience and you use it and you value you have definitely different values from this other person, I think. Like you both value this like comfort and wealth, but they take it for granted, whereas you are more focused on like what got me here. You seem to be reflecting on the past right now in this relationship, and seeing like what practical elements brought you to this point in the relationship. So you seem to be more focused on like the experience and growing from it. So that's good. This person beneath the surface, by the way, is the Princess of Shells. Okay. So the Princess of Shells, okay, if I can remember properly, is someone who is more daydreamy, again, like that King of Shells, but let's read her out. She did come out upright. The Princess of Shells upright is drying her hair after a dip in the ocean, symbol of humanity's collective unconscious. A male seahorse, the only species where the male gestates their young, has come to tell her the surprising news he is pregnant. The princess bursts into tears, feeling loving pride and the anticipation of future pain and suffering. She confides in her friend that she too longs to find a gentle, child-loving partner with whom to create a family. This person is sensitive, empathetic, and young. Their heart rules their head. They are an incurable romantic, and they're always seeking romantic encounters. They may have very psychic abilities. So what I'm seeing is that like beneath the surface, this person is this intuitive and flighty and dreamy romantic person. And it's like you guys are presenting as opposites. If I can just show you, like, this is you with reversed water on top and upright earth on the bottom. And then this is them with reversed earth on top and upright water on the bottom. And what I'm seeing already is that there is a major imbalance in this relationship. This other person could very well be taking advantage of you because you look like you're the person who would be like the breadwinner. With all this masculine energy, you may be the person who like goes out and does the work, brings home the money, and you may be providing for this other person. Okay. You may be a caretaker for this other person. This could be an employee of yours, this could be a child of yours, or this could be just this could be a romantic relationship too. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, this person takes for granted the quality of life that your effort provides to them. And that's not cool. Like, there may be growth that needs to happen here with this person. They definitely, because they're both princesses, those are pages, those are very immature energies, and you have all this mature king energy. They have a lot of growing to do, and you can choose to help them with that growing. But if they are going to refuse to grow and change and learn how to participate in the community of the household and put effort into the relationship, it's not okay. And because you're trying to cater to this subconscious intuitive energy of theirs, that may be why you're presenting as this King of Cups energy. And it's possible that because you need to still work on your intuition, that is kind of influencing your behavior in a negative way. Like you trying to please and cater to their needs could be affecting you negatively, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so now I'm going to get your projections on each other. Okay, so you are projecting onto this person the Prince of Gems. So they're showing up as the reversed Princess of Gems, and you see them as the reversed Prince of Gems, okay? Both of these cards came out reversed. So you're seeing each other in very negative ways right now. Not okay. This reversed prince, upright, he's very concerned with community. Upright, he's very hardworking. But reversed, the shield, axe, and staff held by the naked Prince of Gems reversed symbolizes he feels vulnerable, and by clinging to material objects, he can protect himself from the harsh world. So that may be something that you see in this other person. He strives to be responsible, trustworthy, and a respected member of his kingdom's construction, support, and defense forces for his father's sake, but his own heart just isn't in it. He would prefer to inherit the kingdom because he is the prince rather than work for it. He can put the finishing touches on things, but he knows little about the importance of building from the ground up on a strong foundation. He is ruthlessly ambitious and has risen in the ranks by questionable means. He uses his considerable strength and skills not to serve and protect, but to further his interests. His sophomoric gallows humor helps him push away the terrifying realities of life and death. Man, so this Prince of Gems energy that you're projecting on this person, it may be accurate because they're presenting as this Princess of Gems. They are showing you a side of themselves that is really negative and kind of selfish and really indulgent and willing to mooch off of other people, okay? These are immature energies that really enjoy the nice things that they get in life, but are unwilling to actually learn or do work or even try to better themselves in any way. Okay, they're just not concerned with other people, but they're willing to manipulate other people to continue living this lifestyle, and that's not cool. The problem is here with projections is that projections come from a part of yourself that you already don't like, okay, or that you do like and you're putting on another person. This, because it's negative, this is a negative attribute in yourself that you are seeing in another person and actively disliking. So take stock, yes, of the fact that your assessment may be accurate. However, you're seeing things in them that also exist in you, so you should assess those things in yourself that you find negative in other people as well. They view you, though, as the reversed Queen of Wings, which is the Queen of Swords, but they're viewing you as the negative version of that. So we saw already that you do have that Queen of Swords aspect in you. You do have the ability to focus on truth and justice, but in doing so, sometimes the Queen of Swords can get kind of mean. They will disregard feelings and emotions of other people in order to, convince people that she's right sometimes. So the Queen of Wings, the analyst in reverse, let's read it to you. The unmarried Queen of Wings, reversed, has had the angel's wings she wore as a young princess taken away from her because she misused them. The upside-down tree behind her looks like roots, symbolizing that barrenness is a big issue in her present life. She seems to be crushing the butterfly on her forehead, suggesting she resists transformation and the beauty it could bring into her new life. You must face the fact that if you or your partner totally rejects the notion of positive change, you're better off alone. Wow, I'm going to read that again. Okay? You must face the fact that if you or your partner totally rejects the notion of positive change, you're better off alone. The qualities of honesty and directness do not require that the sweet, sentimental, and spiritual side of life be avoided or persecuted. Pent-up bitterness may turn into malicious disregard for other people's feelings. Be careful, loneliness does not turn strength into rigidity, tactlessness, or prudishness. Okay, so this is what they're seeing in you. Be aware that, yes, this is something that this is within them as well. Just be aware that since we saw the Queen of Swords in your general reading, it's not necessarily completely off base. So you should consider the fact that maybe you are disregarding the other person's feelings and using biting words too often. You may want to reel it in and use diplomacy more often if you are trying to save the relationship, if you want the relationship to improve. The issue is that there seems to be, at least on the other person's end, a resistance to change and a resistance to growth. And that's not healthy. And if this person is an adult, I'd say it's time to maybe explore other options. Avoid people who are adults who act like children and who will not acknowledge that change is necessary. Okay. Now we're just going to get how you guys are relating to each other on the surface and below the surface to maybe get an idea of whether or not this relationship is salvageable here. Okay. How are they relating to each other consciously, Libra and this other person? There we go. Okay. So consciously, we're relating. Woof. Okay, we got two cards. So consciously, you're relating with the Wheel of Fortune and Six of Wings. The Wheel of Fortune is luck, right? Luck, good or bad, though. So with the Wheel of Fortune, things could go either way. So that's not super helpful. And then you have the Six of Wings, which is like the Six of Swords in the traditional tarot. And it's a card of passage. So it's like change happening. It's moving from one place to another. And the Wheel of Fortune also is actually that motion, that movement from, it's like the wheel turning, right? Things starting to change and shift from one way of being to another way of being. Sometimes it's going from having a lot of really good luck to having a lot of bad luck. Sometimes it's the other way around, bad luck to good luck. However, the Six of Wings indicates that it could be from turbulent times to smoother, calmer times. So it looks like you're in like a transition phase on the surface, moving out of something tumultuous and into something calmer. So that's good. That's not a bad thing, but that's just on the surface. So let's see what's going on beneath the surface subconsciously. How are these people relating to each other? Libra and their person, how are they relating to each other? Thank you. Four of Shells, reevaluation. I'm going to read this one from the book for you so we can give you a real good picture of what is going on beneath the surface there. So the Four of Shells, it is time to reevaluate a relationship or someone's attitude about relationships in general. Old feelings may no longer be valid or valued. A fresh start may be needed. If you are bored or dissatisfied with the status quo, avoid distractions and examine your heart of hearts to gain clarity. How you feel is most important now. If you are feeling shy, tired, or bogged down, you need to take time for introspection to break out of old, unproductive patterns. Forgiving each other and setting new goals will soothe harsh or stress-producing communications between you and your partner. Okay, we're coming back to the diplomacy place here. Yes, this person has a lot of growing to do. That is not to say that you don't have any growing to do as well, okay? There can be growth here, because you have this mature energy, you have the ability to help this other person grow if they are willing to do the work. But that work is not going to get done at all until you both sit down, reevaluate your relationship and where you want it to go. Make sure that your values are the same still. Make sure that your goals are the same still. And then figure out how you guys can work together productively. Do this through having a calm conversation. Don't wait until you're having another argument to bring this up. Sit down and brainstorm solutions. Let each other know what your actual needs are in the relationship. Be like, allow your emotions to be heard, but do it from a place of calm. Like, do it at a time when you can express your emotions calmly, so that the other person can understand you properly, because messages don't get through as easily when they are yelled and cursed. Okay. It is easier to get a message through when you just send a letter quietly in the mail, like straight up. Sometimes, actually, what could be helpful, if it's really hard for you to speak face to face without getting angry, a good thing you can do is to write letters to each other that honestly tell each other like something you like about each other, things that need improvement, and then on the bottom something else, something that you appreciate about each other, about each other's personalities. Okay, so like it's a little like sandwich. Like a self-improvement sandwich kind of thing. So it's like compliment, constructive criticism, compliment. Constructive criticism is not you're too fat. It's not you're ugly or your nose is too big. We're not focusing on things that are outside of a person's control. We are not focusing on things that a person cannot do anything about. So like if a person has depression or a personality disorder or anything like that, that's something that they cannot change. And either you need to decide if you are willing to be okay with that being a part of the relationship, or you need to decide that it's not okay and you need to move on. Okay. And if you guys do come together, do this reevaluation and decide that it is best for both of you to separate from each other, that's okay. The end of a relationship is not the end of the world. The end of a relationship is not the end of the world. So if it turns out that after doing this calm reevaluation, this relationship is just not going to work long term, it may be time to just walk away. Okay. But there is potential for growth here if both parties are willing to put in the effort and learn a little bit more and consider each other's feelings a little bit more, I think is going to be the main thing here. You guys are going to need to try to see things from each other's perspective a little bit more. In order to find this peace. Okay. So that's your relationship reading. The last thing we're going to do is oracle cards, and then you will be finished. So let's get into that. All right, Libra, are you ready for your oracle card reading? Because I am. This is probably like the most positive part of this reading. Hopefully it will be the most positive part of this reading. That's the plan. I have the most positive decks that I own, possibly. So I'm going to try and give you something really, really positive to help keep you encouraged and help keep you optimistic in the month of June, my Libra friend, because the messages you got today were a little rough. So let's give you some relief, because you already have a bunch on your plate. You have a lot of work to do. Okay. Just want you to remember that you have a lot of potential. And that even when you have work to do, you are still deserving of love and respect, okay? You don't need to make yourself feel guilty because you acted like a human being. Like, on the real. Okay. Oh, well, that was really quick. Okay, so we got sacral chakra and perception. Okay, so that's sacral chakra. It's that nice orange Buddhamus, and then the perception card. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. Okay, so let me read these to you. And if there's any extra messages, I'll let them come out for you. Okay, so we have the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. Since you are a kind of person who functions mainly from their emotions, the sacral chakra is really going to affect you a lot because the sacral chakra is where your passion is located. It's where those feelings of excitement are going to come from. It's also where that creative energy is going to come from. And that's very much in the Wands realm. So this month, the month of June, work on that sacral chakra. Do some meditations that will help you kind of bring that chakra into balance, which will help you balance your emotions, which, as I said before, since everything is connected in your mind, body, soul, all of that, then working on your sacral chakra will help you grow in other ways as well, I think, because meditation requires you to focus your mind, which in turn helps you pay more attention to your physical sensations, which again, in turn, is going to help improve your intuition. So just simple things like doing a 5 to 10 minute meditation on your sacral chakra once a day. I think that that would be very, very helpful for you in the month of June. Okay. The other one you have perception. Okay. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real, to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Move beyond your comfort zone. Be curious. Okay. Like I said earlier, since there were no pentacles in your general spread, right? Trying to get in touch with your body is going to be an uncomfortable, it could be a really uncomfortable experience trying to get in tune with your body, in touch with your body, especially if your body has experienced trauma in the past. The sacral chakra is also related to it's related to sexual security. Okay. I'm just going to say it. Okay. So if you have been through some abuse in the past, or if you have not valued that part of yourself, the sensual part of yourself, it might be hard. It could be embarrassing at times to get to know that part of yourself, but it really is essential. Like, you can't go your whole life ignoring that part of yourself because it's a natural human thing to feel those feelings of sensuality. Okay. It's normal. It's okay to feel those physical sensations and to savor them and to enjoy them. Okay. That's okay. It's all right to step out of your comfort zone and enjoy your body. All right. So this is your homework in the month of June. I want you to try to enjoy your body and enjoy things with your body. Okay. Step out of your comfort zone. Pay attention to your physical sensations, because there's some really good stuff that can happen from that. I really think that you have a lot of potential for really good growth to come into balance and become this like passionate, creative person. You just got to let yourself be comfortable with your meat suit. Okay. All right. So that's that. Now, the last thing I'm going to do for you, my Libra friend, is I'm going to use my Wild Offering Oracle, and I'm going to give you a little prayer mantra thing that you can say to yourself. Remind yourself of in the month of June, Libra, to help you kind of get through and stay optimistic. Service. You stop using the universe to try to get what you want and start asking love to use you. You offer all and want to be of service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. So if there is something that you want, something that you're striving for, it's time to stop trying to get that thing for yourself, and it's time to start working to help others. And through working to help others, I think that there's going to be a breakthrough for you. I think that nurturing others and nurturing yourself also are going to be really helpful for you in the month of June. Stop worrying about the things that you want and just let the universe guide you to what it wants you to do. Okay. Let God work through you. I don't know if you're a religious person. I personally am very spiritual, if you couldn't tell. But it's important to have something that you're serving. It doesn't need to be a God. That's what works for me. But it could be just some sort of larger framework, right? You could volunteer with a charity. You could do little things around your community to help support your neighbors. You can do any small thing that helps you feel like you are serving and being useful to someone else. I think that that can really help your confidence if you're giving to other people rather than worrying about yourself so much. It can help you feel a lot more secure and a lot more confident in yourself. Okay. And it also can help kind of get rid of those feelings of guilt when you start doing those little things that make you feel like a good person. So just try to think of little things that you can do this month to make yourself feel good, your body feel good. Step out of your comfort zone and try to find something to work for that helps other people. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, Libra. I really appreciate you watching this video. I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that you grow a lot in June. And I really hope that things work out for the best for you, my friend. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Okay? Bye. Accurate. Oh. Just